They said his name in whispers long before she ever saw his face, the kind of whispers that slid through wooden walls at night and crept under doors like smoke, warning children to behave and women to pray, because the feared Apache warrior was said to have eyes like burning coal and a heart hardened by blood. And when Eliza's stepmother finally spoke his name aloud in the daylight, it was not with fear but with cruel satisfaction, as if she were announcing a sentence already decided. Because Eliza was no longer useful in the house where her father once loved her before the fever took him, and the stepmother's patience had worn thin with every quiet breath Eliza took, every reminder that she was not truly hers. So when the town council demanded a punishment offering to keep peace after stolen horses and burned fences, the stepmother stepped forward before anyone else could, her hand firm on Eliza's shoulder, her voice sharp as she declared that the girl would be given to the Apache. And the crowd gasped while Eliza felt the world tilt beneath her feet, her heart pounding so loudly she was sure everyone could hear it. Yet no one met her eyes as she was pushed forward, bound not with rope at first but with silence and cowardice. And when she was finally led across the open grasslands under the wide, unforgiving sky, she expected cruelty at every step, expected pain, expected to disappear. But the man who walked ahead of her did not turn to leer or threaten, did not touch her roughly, did not speak at all, and when they reached the Apache camp at dusk, firelight flickering like restless spirits, he finally turned, tall and broad-shouldered, his long dark hair moving with the wind, his face stern but unreadable, and he looked at her not like property, not like punishment, but like a question he did not yet know how to ask. His name was Tahoma, and though the others watched with guarded eyes, he lifted his hand and the camp fell quiet, and in that silence Eliza realized something unsettling, that no one here seemed eager to harm her, that the fear she carried belonged more to the stories than to the people standing before her. Days passed, then weeks, and though she slept in a small lodge and worked as she was able, no one raised a hand against her, and Tahoma himself brought her food, showed her where the water ran clean, taught her the names of the stars when the nights grew cold, and though his voice was low and careful, every word carried a gentleness she had not known since her father died, and slowly the terror that had hollowed her chest began to soften into confusion, then into something dangerously close to trust, because the man she had been given to as punishment never demanded obedience, never claimed her as a thing, and when she flinched at sudden movements, he would step back, lowering his gaze, giving her space as if her fear mattered, as if she mattered. One night, when wolves howled beyond the hills and old memories broke loose inside her, she finally asked why he had accepted her at all, and he told her the truth in a voice steady with quiet pain, that the offering was meant to provoke violence, to paint him and his people as monsters, but he would not become what they needed him to be, and in that moment Eliza understood that she was not the only one punished that day, because Tahoma carried the weight of being feared for crimes he had not committed, of being judged before he ever spoke, and something inside her shifted, knitting their wounds together in the dark. Seasons turned, her hands grew strong from work, her laughter returned in small, surprised sounds, and when she fell ill one winter, it was Tahoma who sat beside her through the night, cooling her skin with damp cloths, murmuring words she did not understand but felt deep in her bones, and when she woke, weak but alive, she wept not from pain but from the realization that no one had ever stayed for her like that before. Love did not arrive in grand declarations, but in the way he listened, in the way he defended her without raising his voice, in the way he asked for her consent with his eyes long before he ever reached for her hand. And when he finally did, it felt like a promise rather than a claim, and Eliza chose him not because she had been given away, but because she wanted to stay. When word reached the town that the feared Apache had not broken her, had not returned her in shame or blood, the stepmother's satisfaction curdled into anger, but it no longer mattered, because Eliza had found a home not built on fear, and Tahoma had found someone who saw him not as a legend, not as a warning, but as a man worthy of love. And years later, when travelers passed through the plains and spoke of an Apache warrior who protected the weak and a woman who walked beside him with her head held high, no one spoke of punishment anymore, only of a love that defied cruelty and rewrote fate itself. If this story moved you, if you believe love can rise where hatred expects ruin, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more powerful stories that uncover hidden strength, unexpected kindness, and love that changes everything.